Prime Minister has insisted he will not walk away despite the disastrous election results last week. But more than 50 Labour MPs have now called for him to go or to set a date to leave. Sir Keir says he's proved his doubters wrong in the past and will do so again. In a crucial speech this morning, he admitted his government had made mistakes, but said he got the big political choices right. Our political editor, Chris Mason, is following it all in Westminster and joins us now. Chris.
Yes, hello to you. A roller coaster today for the government and for the Prime Minister. And just in the last couple of minutes, two resignations, two ministerial aides, parliamentary private secretaries as they're known, the lowest level of being on the government benches, have resigned, saying that they think that the Prime Minister himself should also resign and should go. And one of those ministerial aides is the ministerial aide to Wes Streeting, the Health Secretary. What we've seen in the last couple of hours since the Prime Minister's speech is a trickle, perhaps more than a trickle, of MP after MP coming out and saying that they have lost faith, publicly coming out and saying they have lost faith in the capacity of the Prime Minister to carry on. What a day. Here is how it's panned out so far. The Prime Minister arrived here, his job on the line. Some in his party have fretted he's not up to it for months. And then along came last week dire election results.
I get it. I feel it. And I take responsibility. I know I have my doubters. And I know I need to prove them wrong, and I will.
Sir Keir Starmer's back against the wall. He was noticeably more angry, more passionate than we often see him, and he wanted to set out who he claims to stand up for.
Millions of people held back because the status quo in this country does not work for them. I am fighting for them. We are fighting for them. I am their Prime Minister, and this is their government.
He said the UK should be at the heart of Europe and young people should be able to move freely into the European Union. And he said British steel should be nationalised.
So I can announce that legislation will be brought forward this week to give the government powers, subject to that public interest test, to take full national ownership of British steel.
The audience in the room did what it could with applause, cheers and ovations to prop up a vulnerable leader. Prime Minister, do you think in your gut what you have said is enough this morning? And what do you say directly to those of your colleagues who are weighing up right now whether to back you or to suggest that you should go?
What I'm doing is setting out the response, the direction that we need to take, and the acknowledgement that in the world we live in now, we need a bigger response than 2024. It is a different world.
And later he said,
I think what we witnessed with the last government was the chaos of constantly changing leaders. And it cost this country a huge amount. A huge amount. A Labour government will not inflict that on our country again.
Then, at lunchtime, a key moment, a statement from the former Minister Catherine West, who told the BBC over the weekend she was willing to begin a leadership challenge to try to remove the Prime Minister. So, what is she saying now? I have reluctantly concluded that this morning's speech was too little, too late. I am hereby giving notice to Number 10 that I'm collecting names of Labour MPs to call on the Prime Minister to set a timetable for the election of a new leader in September. So, she is clearly not happy, but crucially, she has backed down from threatening a leadership challenge. But the conversations about the Prime Minister's possible successors are still feverish. There's the Mayor of Greater Manchester, Andy Burnham, but he's not an MP, so can't challenge him now. Then there's the former Deputy Prime Minister, Angela Rayner, who lost her job after failing to pay enough tax on a flat.
We, as a party, have to do better than this. And we can only prove we mean our Labour values by putting the common interest ahead of factionalism. And we can start by accepting that Andy Burnham should never have been blocked. It was a mistake that the leadership of our party should put right.
Mr Burnham would love to run for the leadership, but the party blocked him from being their candidate in a by-election in February. But his friends say he should be allowed back, but needs a few months. All this talk, though, of an orderly transition, if Andy Burnham tries to come back and there's a by-election, that'd be a complete circus. It won't be orderly.
Look, if there's a by-election, we'll have to fight that by-election.
And even winning it's not straightforward.
Of course, but here's the difference. You know, Andy Burnham wouldn't be coming in to be part of a government. Everyone would be really clear. Andy Burnham is coming in to attempt to become the next Prime Minister.
And is Monday morning always really busy?
Then there is the Health Secretary Wes Streeting, whose supporters would prefer things to move quickly before Andy Burnham can find himself a seat. And all afternoon here, one after another, yet more Labour MPs saying the Prime Minister has to go. Chris Mason, BBC News at Westminster.